This meeting is being held in compliance with the Brown Act. SCAG offices are open for members of the public to attend and participate in person. Instructions for providing public comment have been provided in advance and are also included in the agenda packet. Members of the public participating remotely should ensure their microphone is muted when not in use. Any member of the public calling into this meeting by telephone can press *6 to mute and unmute. All telephone participants should identify themselves prior to speaking. SCAG encourages all members of the public to participate in its meetings. We are committed to holding meetings accessible to people with disabilities. For members of the public requiring ADA accommodation, please call 213-236-1895. SCAG offers free interpretation services for members of the public needing information in another language. Please call 213-236-1895. The meeting will now begin.
Just give me a second. We're just waiting for one person for quorum. Kirk to the rescue. All right, well, welcome and good morning. Today is Thursday, December 4th, 2025. To ensure that we have a quorum of members present, can I ask that everyone please insert your smart cards into your communicator keypad if you haven't done so far? And the meeting of the Regional Council is now called to order. Could I ask Honorable Larry McCowan to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join me as we salute the flag that represents our great republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Clerk, can you confirm that we indeed have a quorum?
Madam President, we do have a quorum.
Okay, and then I'm going to ask our board counsel, Durhan, do we have any members of the public who are participating via ADA or Just Cause?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. We do have two of each of those members wishing to participate. The first two are seeking to participate under the ADA exceptions, as we are required to under California law. So that would be RC members Frank Navarro and Margaret Clark, who have requested such accommodation. The second two members of the RC who would like to present, you know what I'm trying to say, participate pursuant to the just cause exemptions under the Brown Act are Lucy Dunn and Marsha McLean. We believe that they have met the requirements in the Brown Act for such exemption and request their attendance with your permission.
Thank you so much for that update. All right, I'm going to open this up to the public comment period of the meeting. Have we received any written comments?
Madam President, members of the committee, you did receive prior to last night's 5 p.m. deadline one written comment, which has been provided to all the members of the RC, are posted on SCAG's website. And we do have one card of somebody here in person wishing to speak this afternoon.
Okay, so I'm going to call on Nina Turner. Hi, Nina.
Madam President, I'm sorry, that is
I'm sorry,
that is not general public comment.
Okay,
that was my
sorry.
mistake.
All right, well, I will call on you again, I promise. Okay. Do we have any members of the public who wish to speak? Oh, nope.
Not seeing any raised hands.
Okay. All right. Do we have any need to review or prioritize any of our agenda items?
Not at this time.
Okay. All right. Moving right along, we're going to do all the chair reports. Our first item is reports from our policy committees. And because we had a joint policy committee meeting today in place of our regular policy committees, I would ask our committee chairs to share an outlook for the upcoming months during this time. So first, I'm going to call on the Honorable David Shapiro, Chair of the Community, Economy, and Human Development Committee.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Looking forward to 2026 in February, the CHD committee will have presentations from organizations that will provide insight on different funding and financial strategies that support community development and housing, including community development, financial institutions, and an array of community development funding programs. Future CHD meetings will cover community land trusts, housing strategies, and community hub and placemaking strategies that can be considered by communities to reinvigorate public places, as well as plan for local celebration zones for major events. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, the Honorable Rick Dennison, the Chair of the Energy and Environment Committee.
Madam President, Mr. Dennison was unable to be with us today, so I will be reading the report. Mayor Pro Tem Daniel Ramos, Vice Chair of the EEC. The Energy and Environment Committee will be focusing on a number of issues and items ranging from clean transportation and energy to resilience. These items will include resilience and climate funding and financing strategies, the importance and role of clean and resilient utility infrastructure in supporting regional growth, the clean energy transition and adapting to climate change, nature-based strategies to reduce the risks associated with flooding and wildfires, and lastly, the role of vehicle-to-grid technologies and related approaches in achieving a resilient electrical grid that meets future energy demands. And with that, we wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a healthy and happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you for that report. And last, let's hear from the Honorable Mike T. Judge, Chair of the Transportation Committee.
Thank you, Madam President. In February, we have several agenda items to look forward to. Metrolink CEO Darren Kettle will join the Transportation Committee to provide an overview of Metrolink's operations and current initiatives. This is in response to the discussions at earlier TC meetings regarding Metrolink's recent award of the state's Solutions for Congested Corridors grant for Tier 4 locomotive engines. We will also focus on SCAG's Transportation Demand Management Plan and implementation strategies for the 2028 Olympics and the Paralympic Games, highlighting SCAG's current work plan. And we will also review and consider approval of the CMAQ STBG administrative policies to guide the use of federal funds. Beyond February, we plan to focus more on transportation technology and how best to integrate into SCAG's regional planning efforts as Connect SoCal is deployed throughout the region. Thank you, and also have a very happy holiday season.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, our first action item is FFY 2026-27.
Sure. When she introduces.
Yeah, direction. And FY 2027-2028, the SPBG CMAQ award recommendations. And I am going to turn this over to our executive director, Komi Ajise, who will introduce the staff presentation.
Madam President, you do have two cards of public members wishing to speak to this item. Up to you whether you take public comment before Mr. Ajise or after.
Let's take it after.
Thank you, Madam President. And again, good afternoon, Regional Council members. It's with privilege that we come before you to have this package of projects approved. Before I introduce Warren, I just want to state up front that this is work that we've done across the region. It's a combination of cooperation and collaboration with folks across all 6 counties to get to this point. And I want to thank all of our partners and staffs of those agencies for their input into the process. It actually began with the collaboration we had in developing the guidelines that led to the process that guided the project selection that is before you. And project selection also had gone through this project package of projects had gone to the TC and last month, and it was unanimously approved and recommended to the Regional Council for your consideration and hopefully adoption. Once the projects are approved by the Regional Council, we will begin work to get those projects moved with federal funding through the TIP process, and hopefully we can get projects actively engaged in both development and execution. I just want to also state that one of the conversations that came up at the TC last month was the issue of the 2.5 set aside for regional for the regional programming that SCAG was responsible for. That is not part of the package today. I just want to be sure that we're not confusing that discussion with what's before you today. We had sent a clarifying email to the TC following the TC meeting on that particular item, and hopefully that helps to explain some of the issues around the 2.5%. It's just to be real brief on that. When we took over the process due to a corrective action by the federal government on our region, we were allowed as part of that negotiation in the corrective action plan to have a 2.5% set aside to be sure that we are in fact directing federal funds to the implementation of the federal planning requirements, as well as implementing the regional transportation plan, which has always been a knock on us whenever we had a federal review every 4 years with the federal government about the tie between project selection on the federal programs and the regional plans. We've been able to make the case over time, but this allows us to solidify that. We'll be glad to take that question on if there is more clarification that needs to be had. And I just want to be sure that we don't confuse the 2.5% conversation with the package of $1.2 billion worth of projects that's before you today. And with that, I'm going to introduce Warren Whitaker, who is the Department Manager of Integrated Planning and Programming. He'll present the item, and we're glad to take questions after that. Warren?
Great, thank you, Kome. Good afternoon, everyone. I think we officially made the crossover to afternoon and say goodbye to the morning. President Allen, Vice Presidents Marquez and Crosswhite, and RC members. Today, we are seeking RC action on the federal fiscal year 27 and 28 Surface Transportation Block Grant and Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Improvement Program, or SDBG CMAQ. I'll use those acronyms instead. Project award list and contingency list. Here are the federal funding sources addressed in the recommendation, CMAQ and SDBG. Combined, the region's apportionment amount is roughly $600 million a year. Combined, that makes the $1.2 billion, the number that Kome just mentioned, and that's what's included in the call today. SCAG, I think I went forward a little aggressive. SCAG, in its role as the region's designated MPO, is responsible for the project selection for Surface Transportation Block Grant and Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Improvement Program funded projects, as Kome indicated. Additional info on the history of the SDBG and CMAQ project selection, including the corrective action and compliance approach, are included in the staff report, and the compliance action plan is included as attachment 3 to the packet. The program guidelines and the call process were developed consistent with the RC approved compliance action plan. Here's the current call schedule. Rather than go through the timeline details, I want to highlight a couple of the engagement activities that SCAG and the County Transportation Commissions conducted to ensure that all eligible applicants were aware of and prepared to submit competitive applications. SCAG hosted 2 region-wide workshops, jointly hosted county-specific workshops, and offered office hours to all eligible applicants. Fast forward to last month, as Kome indicated, the TC unanimously approved the staff recommendation. And as Kome also indicated, following RC approval, SCAG will work with the awardees and the County Transportation Commissions to get the projects programmed in the Federal Transportation Improvement Program, or FTIP, and obligated by the federal agencies. This is how projects were scored. Scores were then translated into rankings of highly recommended, recommended, contingency, and not recommended based on the thresholds detailed in the guidelines. All projects with a ranking of highly recommended, recommended, and contingency that do not receive funding due to insufficient resources will be placed on the contingency list. Contingency list projects will be awarded as funding becomes available, such as due to an awarded project's inability to deliver within the obligation timeline, or due to an increase in apportionments available to the region. Available funding will be prioritized for partially awarded projects and projects on the contingency list with a highly recommended ranking. Projects that receive a not recommended ranking are not considered SCAG selected and must reapply in a future call to be considered for these funding sources. Here are the number of applications submitted, along with the amount of funding requested. Please note that all dollar amounts on this slide and the next few slides are in thousands. The overall requests were much larger than the available funding. We received 257 applications requesting $3 billion in funding. This slide shows the distribution of recommended funding awards by funding source across the counties, along with the number of projects recommended for award. Overall, SCAG is recommending 132 projects for award across the region, totaling $1.2 billion in funding. Awards were distributed to the highest ranked projects within each county. Note that the project numbers for individual counties are accurate, but the regional total is off. Hence, the 132 versus 130 that you see on the slide. This and the next several slides break down the recommendations to the county level. The detailed list of projects recommended for funding can be found in attachment 1 to the staff report. SCAG is recommending $11.4 million in SDBG and CMAQ funding to 12 projects from Imperial County, with 3 projects added to the contingency list. SCAG is recommending $675.1 million in SDBG and CMAQ funds to 37 projects from Los Angeles County, with 43 projects added to the contingency list and 25 projects not recommended. SCAG is recommending $215.5 million in SDBG and CMAQ funding to 35 projects from Orange County, with 19 projects added to the contingency list and 13 projects not recommended. SCAG is recommending $152.8 million in SDBG and CMAQ funding to 6 projects from Riverside County, with 6 projects added to the contingency list and 5 projects not recommended. SCAG is recommending $147.2 million in SDBG and CMAQ funding to 19 projects from San Bernardino County and 4 projects not recommended. SCAG is recommending $47.9 million in SDBG and CMAQ funding to 23 projects from Ventura County, with 4 projects added to the contingency list and 3 projects not recommended. Upon RC approval, awardees may begin programming the SCAG selected projects into the FTIP and begin the obligation process with Caltrans local assistance. SCAG is offering debriefing opportunities to applicants. Signups are available online via the website address on my last slide. SCAG staff will return to the TC and RC with post-award programming procedures and policies in February 2026, as Chair Judge indicated in his report. Lastly, SCAG anticipates conducting an SDBG CMAQ call for project nomination every odd year, so this is not the only opportunity for funding. Staff anticipate updating the program guidelines next calendar year and returning to the TC and RC with our next call cycle award recommendations in 2027. That concludes my presentation. And this is the URL that you can find how to sign up for debriefs.
Okay, thank you, Warren. We do have 2 members of the public that are signed up. So, Warren, if you just have a seat, and then we may need you to come back when we open this up for questions from Regional Council. So let's start with our public comment period, and I'm going to ask Nina Turner from the Port of Long Beach.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Nina Turner, your local and regional government relations officer at the Port of Long Beach, and the Port would like to thank the Honorable President Cindy Allen and Regional Council officers, chairs, and committee members for your consideration of funding for the Harbor Scenic Drive Enhancements Project in Long Beach. As you heard today, the Port of Long Beach is the nation's 2nd busiest seaport, handling cargo worth $300 billion annually. Our activity supports 2.7 million U.S. jobs and 691,000 jobs in California, which is equivalent to 1 out of 17. Harbor Scenic Drive connects the 710 freeway to shipping terminals at the Port of Long Beach and provides access to community, retail, and recreational destinations on the public waterfront. When completed, the project will improve traffic flow for the port's roadway network and the national freight system, as well as provide enhanced safety and wayfinding. Construction is anticipated to begin in early 2027 and will be complete in time for the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games, when Long Beach will host several events. The Port of Long Beach respectfully requests approval of the staff's recommendation, and I would like to thank the amazing SCAG leadership and staff for their longstanding partnership and collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. And our next public speaker is Kim Turner from Torrance Transit. Kim.
Good afternoon, Honorable President Allen and members of the Regional Council. My name is Kim Turner, Transit Director for the Torrance Transit System. My name may sound familiar because that's my baby back there. Yes, I want to express my sincere appreciation to the Regional Council for your consideration of the FY 2026-27 and 27-28 CMAQ project award list. If approved, today's action reinforces an essential commitment to strengthening the mobility, sustainability, and accessibility for the communities we serve. For Torrance Transit, these funds directly support innovative efforts such as our Connect Torrance microtransit project, designed to improve first and last mile connections, reduce emissions, and expand access to job, healthcare, and recreation. This effort is particularly meaningful for our seniors and individuals with disabilities, offering greater travel experience and more seamless regional mobility. As Southern California prepares to welcome the world for major global events, including FIFA World Cup 2026 and LA 28 Olympics and Paralympics, ensuring a safe, connected, resilient transportation network has never been more important. Investments supported through STBG and CMAQ will help our region rise to that challenge, improving customer experience, reducing congestion, and showcasing a world-class transportation system to visitors, residents alike. This partnership gives us certainty that needed to continue delivering service that aligns with SCAG's Connect SoCal regional goals and strategies. Thank you again for the Regional Council support, and thank you, Mr. Kome Ajise, and your wonderful staff for their ongoing support of the local transit agencies and the counties. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Kim. And I have to say, you did a great job with that, Dr. Nina. She's doing wonderful work over there at the port. So thank you for being here. Do we have any other members of the public that wish to speak on item 1, either here or remotely?
Don't see any raised hands.
Madam President, I'll move the item.
Second.
Okay. Before I do that, do we have, just let me make sure that we don't have any question, either here or online from the Regional Council. Wendy, you have a question?
Just really quick, I want to thank staff for their cooperation on this. And I also want to thank you for answering one of my questions before I asked it on debriefing. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Okay, any other questions? All right, and it was moved by Daniel and and the second by Supervisor Hagman.
Madam President, if it's okay, I'll proceed to start the voting.
Please do.
The voting is now open. Member Navarro, how do you vote?
I vote yes, thank you.
Member Clark, how do you vote?
Yes, thank you.
Member McLean, how do you vote?
Yes, thank you.
Madam President, my understanding is that the devices are not working. If okay with you, may I proceed with the roll call?
Yes, please do. Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Margaret Clark?
Yes, I already voted though.
Taking a vote again as the devices are not working. So I just wanted to confirm you're a yes. Thank you. Jenny Crosswhite?
Yes.
Jonathan Dimitru?
Yes.
John Dutray? Shauna Elia?
Yes.
Margaret Finley?
Yes.
Gary Gardner? John Gabbard?
Yes.
William Go?
Yes.
Mike Goodsell?
Yes.
Kurt Hagman? Mark Henderson?
Yes.
Laura Hernandez?
Hernandez, yes.
Mike Judge?
Judge, aye.
Joe Kalmick?
Yes.
Trish Kelly?
Yes.
Lauren Kleiman? Linda Krupa?
Yes.
Andrew Latta? Patricia Lock Dawson? Clint Lorimore?
Aye.
Steve Manos?
Aye.
Ray Marquez? Andrew Maciel?
Yes.
Larry McCallan?
Yes.
Marsha McLean?
Yes.
Frank Navarro?
Yes.
Daniel Ramos?
Ramos, aye.
Rocky Rhodes?
Rhodes, yes.
Ali Saleh,
Saleh is a yes.
Suli Sorrow,
Aye.
David Shapiro,
Yes.
Emma Sharif, Marty Siminoff,
Yes.
Helen Tran,
Yes.
Edward Twining, Steve Ty, Mark Warnick,
Aye.
Aquanetta Warren, Thomas Wong,
Yes.
Jeff Wood,
Aye.
Frank Yokoyama.
Yes.
Madam President, the motion for item 1 passes with 39 votes yes, 0 votes no, and 0 abstentions.
All right, well, thank you. Normally we do the consent calendar with that, but this is a significant vote and we wanted it to stand alone. So next we're going to go to the consent calendar. Do we have any members of the public who wish to speak on the consent calendar?
Don't see any, Madam President.
Okay. Right, it's been moved and seconded.
Can we confirm who did the second? I found the first attachment. Second, McCallum.
McCallum. And can
And
you
I'll proceed with the roll call vote.
please do?
Cindy Allen,
Aye.
Ryan Smith,
Yes.
Drew Boyle, Wendy Bucknam,
Yes.
Margaret Clark,
Yes.
Jenny Crosswhite,
Yes.
Jonathan Dumitru,
Yes.
John Dutray, Shania Elias,
Yes.
Margaret Finley,
Yes.
Gary Gardner, John Gabbard,
Yes.
Willem Go,
Yes.
Mike Goodsell,
Yes.
Kurt Hagman, Mark Henderson,
Yes.
Laro Hernandez,
Hernandez, yes.
Mike Judge,
Judge, aye.
Joe Kelmick,
Yes.
Trish Kelly,
Yes.
Lauren Clayman,
Yes.
Linda Krupa,
Yes.
Andrew Latta,
Yes.
Patricia Lock Dawson, Clint Lorimore, Steve Manos,
Aye.
Ray Marquez,
Yes.
Andrew Maciel,
Yes.
Larry McCallan,
Yes.
Marsha McLean,
Yes.
Frank Navarro,
Yes.
Daniel Ramos,
Ramos, aye.
Rocky Rhodes,
Rhodes, yes.
Ali Saleh, Suli Sorrow,
Aye.
David Shapiro,
Yes.
Emma Sharif, Marty Siminoff,
Yes.
Helen Tran,
Yes.
Butch Twining, Steve Ty, Mark Warnick,
Aye.
Aquanetta Warren, Thomas Wong,
Yes.
Jeff Wood,
Yes.
Frank Yokoyama.
Yes.
Madam President, the motion for the consent calendar passes with 38 votes yes, 0 votes no, and 0 abstentions.
Awesome, thank you. All right, moving right along, we're going to receive reports from the business representative, the president, and the executive director. But before we begin, do we have any members of the public that wish to speak on any of those 3 items?
Not at this time, Madam President.
Okay, all right, so I am going to turn this over to Lucy Dunn, our business representative, who will provide the report.
Thank you, Madam President. I apologize for not being with you tonight, but or this afternoon, better to keep my flu germs at home. And my report is at the end of your agenda as usual. First of all, let me commend the economic update. I mean, it was brilliant. I really appreciate all the information, and kudos to staff for that, and for all the presenters, and Mayor Garcetti for his good work. The only thing that I would add to my written report is when we talked today so much about the future for Southern California is going to be energy driven. We've got to have sustainable, clean energy. And I'm really excited to share with you that I've shared this in the past, but Caltech has, with the investment from Orange County and Donald and Brigitte Brand, has successfully entered the next phase of doing solar energy for free for the world from outer space. They've just put together a movie showing the progress on this, and I approached some folks to maybe present that to SCAG at an appropriate time so that you could see what they're looking for in investment. a clean energy is going to be critical to our continued advancement for all of the SCAG goals. And so I just wanted to I'm excited about it, and I wanted to share my enthusiasm for the project. I think they're going to next show their film update between Caltech and UCI, but I mentioned maybe we could bring it into SCAG too. So a little bit more on that later, but happy to answer any questions. And that's it for me, Madam President.
Thank you, Miss Lucy Dunn. Appreciate your report. I'm going to go on to mine. I hope you enjoyed the 2025 Southern California Economic Update during this morning's Joint Policy Committee meeting. If you'd like to review more of the economic analysis, the full report is published on the SCAG's website, and it also will be included in the SCAG's newsletter. It's also time again for our annual preparations for our General Assembly. We'll be forming 3 committees to shepherd our process for reviewing board officer candidates, reviewing our bylaws, and awarding our annual scholarships. Members interested in serving on the bylaws and the resolutions committee and the nominating committee should submit their name to the clerk no later than January 20th, 2026. For members interested in serving on this year's scholarship committee, please contact the clerk's office or government affairs officer, Rachel Wagner, to submit your interest card also by January 20, 2026. For members who are interested in a board officer position, please keep an eye out for January for information on how to apply. We expect to announce appointments at our February Regional Council meeting. Earlier this month, I was proud to be a part of the WTSLA Annual Scholarships and Awards Gala. Our SCAG Executive Director, Komi Ajise, and I presented the WTSLA SCAG Community College Scholarship to Amy Rodriguez Lopez of Long Beach City College. And as a recipient of the chapter's Ray LaHood Award last year, Komi Ajise also delivered the keynote address where he celebrated the contributions of the women to the region's transportation and planning fields. And I just have to say, he did such a fantastic job. And as a reminder to everyone, there is no meeting of the Regional Council in January 2026. No meeting in January. The next regular meeting of the RC is scheduled for Thursday, February 5th, 2026 at 11:45. And that ends my report. Quick and sweet. Okay, I am going to turn this over to Komi Ajise, Executive Director, who will provide his report.
Thank you, Madam President. Again, good afternoon, Regional Council members. I want to thank you all for your earlier action in approving the SDBG CMAQ item. We appreciate the confidence that you have in our staff to continue to work to administer this program, which we officially took over in 2023 due to the federal corrective action that was mentioned earlier on. With the vote today, we will be delivering we'll be bringing our regional perspective to delivering this project and hopefully supporting, showing how the projects support the work that we've already done with you all on regional visioning across the region with Connect SoCal. I had reported earlier on about this conformity lockdown that we've had as a region because of the cancellation of waivers, the California waivers under the Federal Clean Air Act. As of June 12th, we had those cancellations. Now, as a result, the state and the SCAG region basically entered into a conformity lockdown, which meant that we couldn't have any federal actions on projects within the SCAG region. Today, I'm happy to report that under a new development, the federal EPA, the U.S. EPA, has updated and approved the latest planning assumptions and updates to the emission model that was developed by the California Air Resources Board. What that means then is that we are able to move forward with being able to make assessments as to air quality impacts of projects. So this fully lifted the statewide conformity lockdown, including the SCAG region. So we're back in business. And it really is important given the action you just took earlier in approving that the 130 projects allows us to be able to move forward with TIP amendments and get federal action on those projects. So you might see, I think you will see very briefly, a conformity analysis that we do on the 27 TIP program, as well as the consistency amendment we do on Connect SoCal 2024. So that's the good news. Now, I also know that this morning, I think it was this morning, or yesterday, the federal government announced that there's an intention to roll back the National Fuel Efficiency Standards, the CAFE standards, as it's popularly known. This could have some effect on what I just told you was good news. We will be reviewing the effect of that rollback of the CAFE standards and come back to you with an update. Right now, I just want to bask in the good news that I just told you, that we're no longer in a lockdown. I had the privilege on November 10th to attend two grand openings of the CV Link project in Coachella Valley. The CV Link is a multimodal, fully separated bicycle and pedestrian access facility across the entire Coachella Valley. It's a 40-mile long piece of infrastructure that I think is exemplary and one that needs to be celebrated. We had a part, SCAG had a part in helping with the project in some small way, securing funding, as an example, through the Active Transportation Program. The first event was in La Quinta, and we were joined by, led by Mayor Linda Evans of the city of La Quinta, along with Supervisor Manuel Perez. Both spoke about the collaboration that brought the project to fruition. The second event was in Palm Desert, and we were joined by a regional council member and former regional council member and current Riverside County Auditor Controller Ben Benoit, as well as past SCAG past president and Palm Desert Mayor John Harnick. They highlighted the regional importance of the CV Link as well. While in Coachella, we also had a chance to visit with the executive director at Sunline Transit, and also got a chance to see the really cutting-edge traffic management center that they set up in Coachella. It's a real small operation, but it's one that's really important because it shows how they could coordinate traffic signals across multiple cities in the valley, especially when you have events like the festival, both music festivals, being able to have traffic control from using technology is really very impressive. On the 24th of November, we had a SCAG delegation visit Regional Council District 65, and we had our first Vice President, Ray Marquez, Regional Council Member Daniel Ramos, Mayor Henry Tran, and John Dutra, and Policy Committee members Gabriel Reyes, as well as Darren, Chief Operating Officer. All of us toured this district in the high desert, and we're able to visit several impressive works that are going on in the high desert. Got a chance to see the site, the future site of the Bright Line West Victorville Station in the town of Apu Valley. We also got to see the Victorville Wellness Center, which is a very unique and impressive homeless shelter that was set up. And I think it's one that also should be talked about a little bit. And finally, we got a chance to see the Silverwood Lake housing development, which is in Hesperia. And that was mentioned earlier on in the economic conference we just had as one of the highlights of housing developments that's going on in the region. And so we really appreciated the welcome by those local leaders, all mayors who are very enthusiastic in receiving us and gave us some very impressive informational tours. We will continue to do these mobile workshops because it does expose many of our members to things that are going on across the region that we don't ordinarily know about. In partnership with the South Coast Air Quality Management District and and the Mobile Resource Reduction Committee. SCAG recently launched the second phase of our last mile freight program. The first phase of the last mile freight program was deployed several years ago. About $17 million was invested in near zero and zero emission freight technology across 22 projects in Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. Funding for the second phase comes to us through the US EPA. It's $51.5 million in this second phase that we will be administering to support clean freight movement through rebates to fleet owners that purchase new battery electric trucks or who convert existing diesel trucks. The goal of this program is to improve air quality across the region and hopefully deliver on meaningful community health benefits across Southern California. Applications for these rebates will be accepted, I should say, through January 30th, 2026. And there's more information on the SCAG website. Then lastly, on the 20th of November, I was invited and privileged to address the Santa Barbara County Association of Governments Board. This is the MPO for the Santa Barbara area. They wanted a briefing on what SCAG's role is in the upcoming 28 Olympic and Paralympic Games, and we shared the work that we had taken through this regional council. The Games Mobility Program framework was shared with them, as well as some of the work we're doing as part of the GME for the Games, and how we are also using this opportunity to advance the implementation of Connect SoCal. So this work continues, and we appreciated the opportunity to have collaboration with our fellow MPOs, both North and South, and we've had meetings with both Kern County, Santa Barbara County, as well as San Diego County MPOs. With that, Madam President, I will end my remarks and see if there are any questions.
All right. I'm looking around. I don't see any questions. So thank you, Comey, for that report. Do we have any suggestions for any future agenda items? Margaret?
It's not, this is way in the future. But the gentleman that I was talking to that we're speaking here at the economic part of this meeting, I don't even know, I guess it is on. They all said the same thing, and that is, could they have more time next time? Which I think it'd be great, because they were very engaging. Information was good, and it's something that we can pass on, frankly, to our city councils and supervisorial districts. So that would be a suggestion that I have.
Well, thank you very much. And that's a wonderful suggestion. And the Honorable Wendy Buckman.
Just to tag onto that, thanks for the reminder, Margaret. The gentleman that did the modeling and showed LA, I spoke to him briefly. I would like to potentially, if possible, have it on a future agenda to discuss doing that maybe for other regions, because that would be a great tool for a lot of the cities that are trying to, get support from their constituents to do Olympic support events. So just a thought on that. Thank you.
All right. And yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hi, this is Claudia Frametta from the city of Downey. I intended to vote yes on the action item. I know I'm late, but I just want the record to reflect that that's how my vote was going to be.
Well, thank you, Claudia, and welcome. All right. I don't see any other. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Just me again. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure that we adjourned this meeting also in the memory of your mother, Cindy, and that is Carlene Adams, who passed away on November 10th.
Thank you very much. And I think I see one more hand up over there. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. For the EAC members that heard it last night, I'm going to say it again. So sorry for sounding a bit redundant, but thank you. Thank you to the SCAG team, Comey and Darren and Yvette and all the RC members that joined us on our tour of District 65. We had an amazing time, and it was exciting to be able to to spend really literally the entire day and share, some concerns and some wins and start, navigating on and coming up with short-term and long-term solutions. It means a lot for the team to come out there and, spend a day with us. It's you'd be amazed at how many people don't know what SCAG is, what they do, and the power that SCAG has when we all come together. So thank you for representing up in our region. Lastly, we're coming up to the end of the year. Just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for everything that you all do as leaders in our region, for your mentorship, your leadership, your friendship. It's an exciting feeling to come down every single month and be surrounded, by all you amazing minds. So thank you. Lastly, last two things, to our amazing president, we love you. We appreciate you. You're covered in our prayers. And then lastly, I know he doesn't want me to do it, but I'm going to do it anyways. Happy 21st birthday to our COO. Today's his birthday, Mr. Darren Chinsey. Happy birthday, sir.
Well, thank you, because I was going to do that. I had that on my note here. So happy, happy, happy birthday. If you haven't noticed, we're in our announcement phase. So if there's anybody else that has any other announcements, go ahead, Mike.
I guess in a way of announcement, I heard him say earlier that people that show up to the Olympics may want to come to Imperial County and watch crops grow or watch geothermal fluid flow. I would be their guide if they want to come. I'd be happy to host them and show them around.
Love it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Go ahead. I see one more. No.
I'll just mention that on the background of that, people that come to the Olympics, they're welcome to come to Anaheim and see Disneyland as well.
I love it. All right. Well, happy birthday, Darren. Thank you all for your love, your prayers, your kindness. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, our holiday, and just Godspeed. And this meeting is adjourned. In honor of my mom.